Have you ever felt like someone's words or actions completely ruined your entire day? Maybe it was a rude comment, a thoughtless gesture, or even just an unexpected inconvenience. You know that feeling, how one small thing can snowball and take over your mood, ruining what was supposed to be a good day. It's frustrating, isn't it? But here's the powerful truth: no one has the power to control your emotions unless you let them. Yes, you heard that right. Unless you hand over that power. What if instead of reacting impulsively, you could stay calm and unshaken, no matter what life or anyone else throws your way? Imagine walking through your day with a sense of peace, so strong that even the most irritating situations couldn't rattle you. Now that's not just wishful thinking, it's emotional mastery. In this episode, we'll take a deep dive into 10 transformative lessons that will teach you how to stop reacting impulsively, let go of anger, and regain control over your emotions. These lessons aren't about pretending not to care or ignoring your feelings. They're about building mental strength to face life's challenges with grace, clarity, and confidence. Whether it's dealing with criticism, setting boundaries, or letting go of grudges, you'll discover practical tools to protect your inner peace and live a life that's unwavering, no matter the circumstances. By the end of this episode, you'll have the mindset and strategies you need to remain unbothered, even in the most difficult situations. So if you're ready to unlock the secret to emotional freedom where no one else can control your mood, let's get started. Your journey to mastering your emotions begins now. 1. Your reactions are your choice. Picture this. It's a peaceful day. Maybe you're enjoying a cup of coffee or taking a leisurely walk through the park. Everything feels right, calm, and collected. But then, out of nowhere, someone says something rude or inconsiderate. Maybe it's a harsh comment from a coworker or a driver cutting you off in traffic. Suddenly, your calm vanishes, replaced by anger, frustration, or hurt. You think to yourself, why did they ruin my day? But here's the truth. They didn't ruin your day. You did. Your emotions are your responsibility, not theirs, not anyone else's. No one has the power to control how you feel unless you hand that power over to them. Think of it this way. The world can throw all sorts of challenges your way, annoying people, difficult situations, but only you get to decide how you react. Let me offer a fresh perspective. Imagine you're wearing noise-cancelling headphones in the middle of a bustling city. The chaos, the honking cars, the loud conversations, the noise of the world around you is still there. It doesn't disappear, but it doesn't reach you. Why? Because you've shielded yourself from it. Mastering your reactions works the same way. You don't have to let the noise of other people's behavior invade your peace. A wise thought captures this beautifully. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose our response, and in our response lies our growth and our freedom. When someone cuts you off in traffic or unfairly criticizes your work, it's easy to blame them for your anger. But what if instead of reacting, you paused? In that pause, you would find power. The power to choose calm over chaos, strength over impulsiveness. 2. Pause, reflect, and regain control. Let's think about this in a real-world example. Imagine you're in a meeting and a colleague dismisses your idea with no regard. It's frustrating, right? Your first instinct might be to snap back to fire, back with a witty comeback, or to stew in resentment for the rest of the day. But before you act on that knee-jerk reaction, take a moment. Pause. In that brief moment, you have the power to regain control. Instead of letting your frustration take over, ask yourself, is this about me, Or is it about their own stress, bias, or insecurities showing? By reframing the situation, you neutralize its power over your emotions. The beauty of this approach is that it's not about suppressing your feelings. It's about recognizing that your feelings are valid, but not allowing them to control your actions. You get to choose how to respond. By taking a pause, you prevent yourself from reacting impulsively, and instead you respond with calm and clarity. The beauty of this pause is that it allows you to align your actions with your values. Instead of getting caught in a cycle of emotional turmoil, you rise above it. It's in this moment of clarity that you find true emotional mastery. And that's how you start to reclaim your inner peace, regardless of what's going on around you. 3. Mastering the art of response. Imagine this every day. You are faced with countless situations that could potentially trigger negative emotions. A rude comment here, a disorganized colleague there, traffic jams, or missed deadlines. The world is full of irritations, large and small. But how you respond to these situations defines your emotional state. In every interaction, you have a choice. You can let your emotions be controlled by the actions of others, or you can decide in that very moment how you wish to respond. The key to emotional mastery is not about avoiding emotions or pretending they don't exist. It's about understanding that emotions are signals. They give us information, but they do not have to dictate how we act. When someone is rude to you, or when something doesn't go as planned, the moment is yours to control. Will you react in anger, frustration, or bitterness? Or will you respond with calm grace and understanding? This ability to choose your response is one of the greatest powers you have. By taking a step back and choosing how to respond, you free yourself from the influence of external events. 4. Control your inner peace. Here's the freedom that comes with mastering your emotions. When you stop expecting others to behave in ways that meet your standards, you stop handing them the keys to your emotional state. Think about it. When you expect someone to act a certain way and they don't, it's easy to feel let down, disappointed, or even angry. But when you let go of these expectations, you protect your peace. The truth is, people are going to act the way they act. They are who they are, not who you want them to be. And trying to change them to fit your expectations will only lead to frustration. But when you choose to accept people as they are, you stop feeling disappointed when they don't meet your standards. Instead, you protect your peace. By releasing these expectations, you reclaim your power. You stop allowing the actions of others to disturb your inner peace. This doesn't mean you condone bad behavior or lower your standards. It simply means you recognize that you can't control how others act, but you can control how you respond. 5. Let go of the need to always be right. Let's talk about the need to always be right. How many times have you been in a disagreement determined to prove your point? The need to be right is often driven by ego. It's about wanting to win, to be validated, to feel superior. But here's the truth: being right doesn't always matter. Sometimes it's more important to be at peace than to be proven right. Consider this the next time you're in an argument. What if you let go of the need to be right? What if instead you focused on understanding the other person's perspective? Letting go of this need frees you from unnecessary conflict and frustration. It's not about being passive or letting people walk over you. It's about choosing peace over pride. By now, you should begin to understand the depth of emotional mastery. It's not just about controlling your reactions in certain situations. It's about cultivating a mindset that allows you to stay calm, clear, and composed no matter what life throws your way. So the next time you feel your emotions rising, take a moment to pause, reflect, and choose your response. In that choice, you will discover the incredible power of emotional mastery and a life of peace and freedom that no one can take away. Separating your reactions. The power of emotional freedom. We've already explored how mastering your reactions is key to emotional freedom, and now we'll dive deeper into how you can start to separate your emotions from your immediate responses. Anger, frustration, and disappointment are natural parts of life, but they don't have to dictate your next move. Imagine having the ability to control how you respond rather than letting those emotions take over. That's what we're going to explore here, how to break the automatic reaction cycle and take charge of your emotions. 1. Pause and reflect, breaking the reaction cycle. It's easy to react in the heat of the moment. When someone cuts you off in traffic or a coworker dismisses your idea, your first instinct might be to feel angry or upset. But here's the key: your emotions, no matter how strong, don't have to drive your actions. Here's a simple strategy to begin practicing emotional mastery. Step 1. Pause and identify when you feel triggered. The next time you feel a surge of anger or irritation, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and consciously name the emotion you're feeling. Is it anger, hurt, frustration? By identifying your emotions in the moment, you break the automatic reaction cycle. This simple pause creates space for you to respond with awareness rather than impulse. Step 2. Ask questions and reflect. Once you've identified the emotion, take a moment to reflect. Why are you feeling this way? Is it because of what just happened, or is it because of your interpretation of it? Are you reacting to something that's personal, or is it an external stressor that you're projecting onto the situation? Understanding why you feel the way you do allows you to see the bigger picture and helps you gain perspective. Step 3. Choose your response. Now here's where the magic happens. After pausing and reflecting, you have the power to choose your response. Do you want to let the heat of the moment dictate your actions, or do you want to respond based on your values and long-term peace? The next time you feel yourself getting triggered, choose to act in a way that aligns with your goals for emotional peace rather than giving in to temporary frustration. 2. Reclaim your power. Don't let others define you. Imagine the freedom of walking through life unbothered by the actions of others. A rude stranger, a thoughtless remark, or a minor inconvenience. When you take control of your reactions, all of these lose their power over you. Every moment offers you a choice. You can let others dictate your emotions, or you can reclaim your power and protect your peace. The next time someone tries to push your buttons, remember their behavior doesn't define you. Your reaction does. By choosing calm, you don't just gain emotional mastery, you gain true freedom. You gain the ability to move through life without being at the mercy of other people's actions. In every moment, you have the option to control how you respond. Your peace is yours to protect. When you stop allowing others to control your emotions, you take back your power, and with it, your peace. No one has the right to steal your calm unless you let them. This is the path to emotional freedom. 3. Stop expecting others to behave like you. One of the most common sources of frustration comes from expecting others to act in a way that meets your standards. When they don't, disappointment sets in. You might think, how could they be so inconsiderate, or I would never treat them this way. But here's a hard truth. People don't operate by your standards. They act based on their own experiences, beliefs, and priorities. Expecting others to think, behave, or respond the way you would is like trying to control the weather. It's impossible, and it only leads to frustration. Everyone is walking their own unique path, shaped by their own experiences. When someone does something that annoys or hurts you, it's often not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of them. Let me give you an example. Imagine a coworker who constantly interrupts during meetings. Instead of seething with frustration or trying to teach them a lesson, recognize that their behavior is about them, not about you. Their habit has nothing to do with you. By letting go of the expectation that they'll change you, free yourself from unnecessary emotional turmoil. 4. The power of acceptance. Letting go of unrealistic expectations. A wise saying captures this truth perfectly. Expectations are the root of all suffering. The less you expect others to behave in a certain way, the more you protect your peace. Releasing expectations is one of the most liberating things you can do for your emotional well-being. It doesn't mean you tolerate bad behavior or abandon your values. It means you recognize that your peace is too valuable to sacrifice for something you can't control. Here's a practical exercise to help you let go of unrealistic expectations. 1. Acknowledge your assumptions. When someone upsets you, ask yourself, what was I expecting them to do? Identify what assumption or expectation you had that led to your emotional response. This step allows you to see your own biases and helps you detach from unnecessary emotional reactions. 2. Challenge your expectations. Once you recognize your assumptions, ask yourself, is it realistic to expect this person to act exactly as I would? Consider their perspective and behavior. Is it fair to expect them to meet your standards? More often than not, you'll realize that your expectations were unrealistic or even unfair. 3. Shift your focus. Instead of focusing on trying to change or control their behavior, shift your focus to how you can respond calmly and maintain your peace. You have the power to control your reactions, not theirs. 5. Liberate yourself. Accept people as they are. Think about how freeing this mindset is: the rude stranger, the forgetful friend, the inconsiderate coworker. None of them have the power to disrupt your emotions unless you let them. When you stop expecting others to meet your standards, you take back control of your reactions. People are who they are, not who you want them to be. Accepting this truth doesn't mean you tolerate bad behavior or abandon your values. It means recognizing that your peace is too valuable to sacrifice for something you can't control. The next time someone disappoints or frustrates you, pause and remind yourself they're acting from their nature, not mine. And that's okay, because I choose my response. By releasing expectations, you free yourself, not just from others' actions, but from the emotional weight they once carried. You gain freedom from unnecessary emotional burden. This shift in mindset creates emotional space, allowing you to live with a deeper sense of peace and acceptance. 6. Let go of the need to always be right. Now think about the last time you got into an argument. How often does the need to be right escalate a situation? The desire to be validated, to feel superior, or to win the argument can cloud your judgment and keep you trapped in conflict. But here's the truth: being right doesn't always matter. Sometimes peace is more important than being correct. Letting go of the need to always be right doesn't mean being passive or letting people walk all over you. It's about recognizing that sometimes being right isn't worth the emotional cost. When you release the need to win, you open yourself up to better communication, deeper understanding, and a sense of peace. Choosing peace over pride will always bring you closer to emotional freedom. By now, you can see how powerful emotional mastery can be. When you stop letting others dictate your emotions, you unlock the freedom to live your life with greater peace and clarity. So the next time you find yourself caught in a reaction, pause, reflect, and choose how you want to respond. In that choice, you'll discover the power of emotional mastery and the ability to move through life with a calm, unwavering mind. Letting go of the need to always be right. As we've explored, the power to control your reactions is essential for emotional mastery. But there's another crucial aspect to this journey, letting go of the need to always be right. We've all found ourselves in an argument at some point, whether it's over something trivial like which route to take, or something deeper like a disagreement with a close friend or partner. As the conversation heats up, you feel that strong urge to prove your point, to show them that you're right. It's like clinging to your version of the truth, thinking that if you don't, everything will fall apart. But what if that need to always be right is actually exhausting and unnecessary? The truth is, the need to win every argument or prove your perspective often comes from a place of insecurity. It's as if being wrong threatens our worth or identity. But what if you could let go of that need entirely? What if you could approach disagreements with curiosity instead of defensiveness? A powerful question to keep in mind is this: would you rather be right, or would you rather be at peace? Often our insistence on being right creates unnecessary tension, damages relationships, and fuels our frustration. On the other hand, letting go of the need to prove yourself allows you to preserve your peace and approach conflicts with a sense of understanding and calm. 1. The urge to defend. When to pause and reflect. Imagine this: someone accuses you of something unfair. Your instinct might be to defend yourself, to argue your case, or even to point out their flaws in return. It's natural to want to protect your reputation or to clear up misunderstandings. But what if, instead of diving right into the argument, you paused for just a moment and asked yourself, is it worth my energy to prove them wrong? Will this argument change anything important in my life? In most cases, the answer will be no. Consider this example: a friend insists that their way of handling a problem is better than yours. You could immediately dive into a debate and try to prove that your approach is superior. But what if you took a different route? Instead of fighting for your position, you could say, I see where you're coming from, and I respect your perspective. In that simple exchange, you not only diffuse the tension, but you also maintain your calm and avoid unnecessary conflict. The ancient philosopher Lao Tzu once said, "He who is attached to his views will never grow." Letting go of the need to be right doesn't mean abandoning your principles or silencing your voice. It means recognizing that not every disagreement needs to be resolved in your favor. Sometimes it's about choosing when to engage and when to step back for your own peace. 2. How to practice letting go of the need to be right. Here are some strategies to help you practice this mindset. Step 1. Pause before responding. When you feel the urge to argue or defend yourself, take a deep breath and reflect on whether it's worth your energy. Is the argument worth your time? Is it really going to change anything? By pausing, you give yourself the chance to consider whether your emotional response aligns with your long-term peace. Step 2. Seek understanding. Instead of trying to win, rather than focusing on winning the argument, try to understand where the other person is coming from. Ask questions to better understand their perspective. This approach will often de-escalate the conflict and foster better communication. Instead of adding fuel to the fire, you can shift the conversation toward mutual understanding. Step 3. Pick your battles. Not every disagreement deserves your energy. Save your emotional investment for the battles that truly matter, those that align with your values or impact important outcomes in your life. Over time, you'll start to notice how much lighter and calmer you feel when you stop trying to control every conversation or prove every point. 3. The freedom of letting go. Think about how liberating this mindset is. The rude stranger, the forgetful friend, the inconsiderate coworker. None of them have the power to disrupt your emotions unless you let them. When you stop expecting others to meet your standards, you take back control of your reactions. You stop investing in every argument and instead focus on preserving your inner peace. Remember, your value isn't tied to winning debates or proving your intelligence. It's in how you carry yourself, how you protect your energy, and how you maintain your inner calm. The next time you're tempted to argue or prove a point, pause and remind yourself, being right won't make me happy, but being calm will. In that moment, you'll experience the true power of letting go. By choosing peace over pride, you unlock a level of freedom and emotional control that is priceless. 4. Stop letting others' words define your worth. Let's face it, everyone has experienced the sting of someone's harsh words. Imagine you're excitedly sharing an idea, something you're truly passionate about, and then someone interrupts with a dismissive comment. Their words cut deep, and suddenly the confidence you felt just moments before begins to disappear. Why does this happen? Because we often let other people's words define how we see ourselves. The reality is, your worth isn't determined by someone else's opinion. It's not tied to their compliments, criticisms, or judgments. When you rely on others to validate you, you hand them the power to control your emotions. True emotional freedom comes when you take that power back and build your sense of self-worth from within. 5. Taking back your power. Let's look at an example. Imagine a colleague constantly belittles your ideas during meetings. You might feel your confidence crumble every time they dismiss your thoughts. But here's the truth, their opinions do not define you. The way they respond to you is a reflection of them, not a reflection of your worth. Instead of internalizing their comments, remember that your value is not tied to their approval. When you stop allowing their words to define your worth, you regain control of your emotional state. The next time someone dismisses you or criticizes you unfairly, pause and remind yourself, their words don't define me. My worth comes from within. When you stop giving others that power, you liberate yourself from unnecessary emotional turmoil. By practicing these steps, you'll find that letting go of the need to be right and not letting others define your worth can truly transform your emotional world. The more you choose peace over pride, the lighter you'll feel and the more freedom you'll experience. This journey to emotional mastery isn't about controlling every situation. It's about learning to navigate the world with calm understanding and confidence. Protecting your peace. The power of boundaries and self-worth. In the previous section, we explored the importance of not letting others' words define your worth. Now let's take that a step further. How can you protect your emotional well-being and remain true to yourself, even when others' opinions or demands threaten to knock you off course? The key lies in setting healthy boundaries and not letting external expectations dictate how you feel. Let's dive into how you can do just that. 1. How to respond when criticism stings. Imagine this: you've worked hard on something, perhaps a project at work or a personal endeavor, and someone criticizes it. But not just any criticism. They criticize in a way that feels harsh, personal, or even unfair. Your instinct might be to immediately defend yourself or feel deflated by their words. But what if, instead of reacting, you paused and reminded yourself their words reflect their perspective, not my value? By detaching your self-worth from their opinion, you protect your peace and stay focused on what truly matters. This concept was captured perfectly by Marcus Aurelius. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own. This isn't about ignoring feedback or dismissing others entirely. Constructive criticism can absolutely help you grow, but unwarranted negativity doesn't deserve space in your mind. By learning to filter what truly matters, you can protect your emotional energy and use criticism as a tool for growth, not self-doubt. 2. How to stop letting others' words. Define your worth. Here are a few strategies to help you stop letting others' words impact your sense of self. Step 1. Pause before reacting. When someone's words sting, take a moment to breathe. This simple pause gives you the chance to reflect on whether their words truly define you. Instead of reacting impulsively, you gain the space to choose your response. In that pause, you reclaim control over your emotions and preserve your peace. Step 2. Separate fact from opinion. Ask yourself, is there any truth in what they're saying, or is this simply their opinion? Often when someone criticizes you, it's more about their perspective than a reflection of who you are. Focus on what helps you grow and let go of the rest. Remember, not all opinions are worth your emotional energy. Step 3. Reaffirm your worth. Take time to remind yourself that your value isn't tied to anyone else's approval. Your worth is intrinsic, independent of external validation. Lao Tzu offers timeless wisdom on this: care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner. By letting go of the need for validation, you free yourself from unnecessary emotional weight. You no longer need to live up to others' expectations. 3. Reclaiming your power. Focus on what you know to be true about yourself. The next time someone's words challenge your confidence, pause. Ask yourself, am I letting this define me, or can I focus on what I know to be true about myself? In that moment, you reclaim your power and remind yourself that no one's words can diminish your value unless you allow them to. True strength doesn't come from avoiding criticism. It comes from knowing your worth regardless of what others say. By practicing this mindset, you create space for authenticity, confidence, and peace. And that is a life no one can take from you. 4. Protecting your energy. The power of setting boundaries. Let's consider this scenario. A friend calls you in the middle of your busy day, asking for help with something they could likely handle on their own. Or perhaps a coworker dumps a last-minute task on you, expecting you to drop everything and say yes. You feel the weight of obligation, but also the frustration of knowing this will disrupt your carefully laid plans. Why is it so hard to say no? Here's the truth: protecting your peace requires setting boundaries. Boundaries aren't selfish, they're necessary. Without them, you allow others to dictate your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Saying yes to everyone else often means saying no to yourself. 5. The importance of self-care and boundaries. A powerful reminder comes to mind. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly giving without protecting your energy, you'll eventually find yourself burned out, resentful, and disconnected from your own needs. Boundaries are not just about saying no to others. They're about saying yes to yourself. They safeguard your emotional freedom while allowing you to maintain healthy, balanced relationships. Here's the important thing to remember. When someone oversteps your boundaries, it's not their fault, it's yours for not clearly defining and upholding them. If you don't set boundaries, people will unconsciously cross them. And that's why it's essential to be intentional about how you protect your energy. 6. Setting boundaries for emotional freedom. Imagine this: by setting clear boundaries, you create a safe space for yourself to recharge, reflect, and maintain your emotional balance. It's not just about saying no to others, but about saying yes to your well-being. Think of boundaries as the walls that protect the integrity of your emotional house. Without them, external forces will easily knock down your walls and leave you feeling drained. By respecting your own boundaries, you empower yourself to show up fully for others, without losing yourself in the process. You reclaim your time, your energy, and your emotional peace. In the end, emotional mastery is about recognizing your worth, setting healthy boundaries, and choosing peace over pride. It's about realizing that you don't need to win every argument, nor do you need to seek validation from others. True strength comes from knowing who you are and protecting your emotional well-being. When you stop letting others define you, when you set boundaries to safeguard your energy, and when you reaffirm your worth from within, you will find a sense of peace that no one can take from you. By implementing these principles into your daily life, you will begin to see a profound shift in how you navigate the world around you. Emotional freedom isn't just a dream, it's a reality you can create by choosing to protect your peace, your energy, and your self-worth. Setting boundaries and protecting your peace. In the last section, we discussed the importance of protecting your energy and setting boundaries to maintain your emotional well-being. Now let's take a closer look at how you can effectively set those boundaries, protect your peace, and regain control over your time and emotional energy. Boundaries are not walls that shut others out. They are bridges that enable healthier and more balanced relationships. 1. The power of setting boundaries. People aren't mind readers. They can't know what you're okay with unless you communicate it clearly. And unless you set boundaries, they'll often push those limits, sometimes unintentionally. Setting boundaries is a form of self-respect, and it teaches others to respect you as well. It's not about being rude or dismissive. It's about ensuring your well-being is prioritized and respected. Here's an example. Imagine you're always the person your friends turn to for advice, even late at night. You care about them and you want to be supportive, but it's draining your energy. Instead of silently resenting them, you could say something like, "I care about you, but I need to keep evenings for myself to recharge. Let's talk tomorrow instead." This approach is firm but kind, and it protects your peace without damaging the relationship. It's a reminder that taking care of yourself allows you to be more present for others too. Epicurus once said, "Freedom is the ability to live as we wish." Living freely doesn't mean ignoring others' needs. It means deciding where your energy is best spent. Setting boundaries gives you the power to choose your priorities and ensures you're not giving more than you can handle. 2. How to set boundaries effectively. Here's how to start setting boundaries in your life. Step 1. Be clear and honest. Communicate your limits calmly and directly. People are more likely to respect your boundaries when they understand them. You don't need to be harsh, simply express what you need in a straightforward, non-accusatory way. For example, say, I need to focus on this project for the next hour, so I won't be able to take calls during that time. Clear communication prevents misunderstandings and makes it easier for others to respect your space. Step 2. Use I statements. Instead of blaming or accusing others, focus on your own needs. For example, instead of saying, "You're always bothering me," try saying, "I need some quiet time after work to recharge." This approach is less confrontational and more likely to foster mutual respect. It's not about placing blame. It's about expressing your needs in a healthy, constructive way. Step 3. Stick to your boundaries. Once you set a limit, uphold it. Consistency is key to teaching others how to respect your space. If you say no once, but give in the next time, you send mixed signals that undermine your boundaries. It's important to be firm, yet gentle with yourself and others. As Lao Tzu wisely said, "He who knows when to stop does not find himself in trouble." Knowing your limits and respecting them helps prevent unnecessary stress and frustration. 3. Boundaries are bridges, not walls. Boundaries aren't meant to isolate you or create conflict. They're bridges to healthier, more balanced relationships. By setting clear boundaries, you show others that you value your time, your peace, and your emotional well-being. And in doing so, you create space for authentic connections. The next time you feel overwhelmed or taken for granted, pause and ask yourself, have I communicated my needs clearly? Am I honoring my own boundaries? Setting limits isn't about being selfish. It's about making sure you don't sacrifice your peace for the sake of pleasing others. By doing so, you reclaim your energy for what truly matters and preserve your well-being. Remember, you're not responsible for managing everyone else's feelings or fixing their problems. Your primary responsibility is to yourself, your peace, your time, and your emotional well-being. So protect your energy, set your boundaries, and watch how much lighter and more in control you feel. Because when you prioritize yourself, you give the best version of yourself to the world. 4. Detach from the opinions of others. Now that you've learned to protect your energy and set boundaries, let's talk about another important aspect of emotional freedom: detaching from the opinions of others. Imagine this. You share an idea you're proud of with a group of people only to be met with criticism or indifference. That sting of disappointment is real and it can spiral into self-doubt. But here's the key question. Why does their opinion carry so much weight? The need for approval is deeply ingrained in all of us. We want to be seen, heard, and validated. But relying on external validation is like chasing shadows. You'll never truly catch it. Emotional freedom begins when you stop letting the opinions of others define your worth. Think of it this way. Everyone views the world through their own lens, shaped by their experiences, biases, and insecurities. What someone says about you often reveals more about them than it does about you. When you internalize their opinions, you give them power over your emotions and decisions. But why let someone else control your narrative? 5. Your worth isn't up for debate. A simple yet powerful thought to remember is this: your worth isn't up for debate. It's not tied to what others think of you, whether it's praise or criticism. Your worth is intrinsic, unshaken by external noise. Let's consider a practical example. Imagine you're wearing a brand new outfit that you absolutely love, and a coworker makes a passing remark like, "That's an interesting choice." You could let their comment ruin your confidence, or you could remind yourself that their opinion doesn't diminish your joy. When you detach from the need for approval, you free yourself to live authentically and confidently. 6. Living with confidence and authenticity. By detaching from the need for external validation, you open the door to a life of authenticity, confidence, and peace. The more you focus on your own sense of worth and self-acceptance, the less power others' opinions will have over you. Your emotional freedom comes when you realize that your value is independent of what others think or say about you. The next time someone offers an unsolicited opinion or harsh criticism, pause and remind yourself, their opinion doesn't define me. I am enough just as I am. This simple shift will help you maintain your confidence and protect your peace, allowing you to live life on your own terms, not dictated by the judgment of others. By learning to protect your energy through boundaries and detaching from the opinions of others, you will find greater emotional freedom. These practices empower you to stay true to yourself, prioritize what matters most, and cultivate deeper, more fulfilling relationships without compromising your well-being. The life you create by choosing peace and authenticity is one that no one can take from you. Detaching from the opinions of others, protecting your inner peace. In the previous section, we discussed the importance of setting boundaries and detaching from the opinions of others. Now let's dive deeper into how you can live authentically and free yourself from the constant need for approval. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." While this may sound harsh, it is liberating. Growth often involves going against the grain or doing things that others might not understand. Seeking approval can hold you back, but embracing your own path, even if misunderstood, sets you free. So how can you start letting go of the weight of others' opinions and opinions that don't serve you? Here's how to practice detaching from them. 1. Question their importance. When someone's opinion bothers you, ask yourself, why does this matter to me? What authority do they really have over my life? It's easy to get caught up in the emotional weight of criticism or judgment, but when you stop to reflect, you'll realize that not everyone's opinion has the power to shape your life, unless you give it that power. By questioning the importance of others' opinions, you take away their control over your emotional state. In fact, when you begin to truly examine why a particular opinion bothers you, you might find that it's more about your own insecurities than anything else. Letting go of this need for external validation is the first step toward emotional freedom. 2. Reaffirm your values. Focus on what truly matters to you, not what others expect. Ground yourself in your goals, principles, and values. When you know who you are and what you stand for, other people's opinions become less important. Reaffirming your values helps you build a strong inner foundation that isn't swayed by the opinions of others. The more you stay grounded in your own beliefs, the easier it becomes to filter out what doesn't serve you. It's not about rejecting feedback altogether. It's about making sure that what you absorb aligns with your truth. 3. Practice letting go. When criticism or judgment arises, acknowledge it without clinging to it. Picture their words as leaves floating down a stream, there but not lasting. Criticism will come, but if you allow it to flow away without taking root inside you, you'll find yourself much more at peace. The key is to not internalize every piece of judgment, but to let it pass by. As Lao Tzu wisely said, care about people's approval, and you will always be their prisoner. Detaching from the opinions of others doesn't mean you become indifferent to feedback. It simply means you stop letting their opinions control your emotional state. By doing so, you free yourself from unnecessary emotional weight. 4. Silence as a powerful response. Imagine this. You're in a heated argument and someone says something hurtful or intentionally provocative. You feel anger rising. Your heart pounds and your face heats up. Your first instinct is to fire back with a sharp remark. But what if instead of reacting impulsively, you simply said nothing? Silence is one of the most powerful tools you have when dealing with others' negativity. Responding with silence isn't about conceding or avoiding confrontation. It's about choosing calm over chaos. By remaining silent, you don't engage with the negativity and you protect your peace. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "The best answer to anger is silence. Anger thrives on fuel, and silence starves it." 5. How to make silence your go-to response. Let's break it down. Here's how you can make silence your go-to response in moments of provocation. Step 1. Pause before reacting. When someone says something provocative, take a moment to breathe. Silence creates space for clarity, allowing you to avoid reacting impulsively. This moment of pause gives you the opportunity to choose your response consciously, rather than letting anger take over. Step 2. Listen without defending. Sometimes people just want to vent or be heard. Let them speak without interrupting or feeling the need to explain yourself. By listening without immediately jumping to defend yourself, you create room for understanding. You don't have to justify your actions, simply allow them to express themselves. Step 3. Speak only when necessary. If a response is required, keep it calm, measured, and to the point. This is where the Buddhist teaching comes in. Speak only if it improves upon the silence. This doesn't mean you suppress your feelings. It means you choose to respond in a way that adds value rather than feeding into negativity. 6. Using silence to break the cycle of negativity. Think of silence as a shield. When someone undermines you, challenges you, or tries to provoke you, responding with silence prevents you from being dragged into the cycle of negativity. You're not weak for choosing silence. You're strong enough to prioritize your peace. Here's an example. Imagine someone at work undermines you during a meeting, trying to make you look bad in front of others. You have two choices: engage in a back-and-forth argument or pause and respond with silence. By staying silent, you deny them the reaction they seek and maintain your composure, showing everyone around you who truly holds the higher ground. In this moment, silence becomes your greatest ally. 7. The freedom that comes with silence. By choosing silence over anger, you break the cycle of negativity and protect your emotional well-being. Silence allows you to stay centered, unaffected by the emotional turbulence others try to create. This practice doesn't make you passive. It makes you active in choosing how to respond to the world around you. The next time someone tries to provoke you or push your buttons, remember that silence is a powerful tool. By not engaging with negativity, you keep your peace intact and show others that their words can't control your emotional state. In choosing silence, you gain emotional freedom and the ability to live authentically without being caught up in unnecessary conflict. By practicing silence as a response to provocation, you'll find that life becomes a lot more peaceful and manageable. Silence allows you to remain grounded, focused on your own path, and unaffected by external noise. It's a powerful way to maintain your emotional balance and reclaim control over your peace. Silence as a tool for emotional mastery. As we've seen, silence isn't just about avoiding conflict. It's a powerful tool for maintaining peace and gaining control over your emotions. Now let's explore how silence can help you navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom and how to use it effectively when faced with provocation. By choosing silence, you demonstrate strength and preserve your energy for moments where your voice truly matters. 1. The power of silence, preserving your energy. Silence doesn't ignore the problem. It preserves your energy for moments where your voice truly matters. Think about how often we regret words said in anger. We've all been there, saying things in the heat of the moment that we later wish we could take back. Silence helps you avoid that regret. It gives you space to reflect, reassess, and respond thoughtfully, rather than impulsively. In fact, silence often says more than words ever could. It communicates strength, wisdom, and emotional control. The next time someone tries to provoke you or push your buttons, pause for a moment and ask yourself, will responding add value? Or will it simply escalate the situation? By choosing silence, you protect your peace and maintain control of the narrative. Remember, silence isn't the absence of a response. It's the presence of wisdom. It's the ability to rise above the noise and say, your words don't control me. My peace does. That's how you win the battle without ever raising your voice. 2. How to respond with silence. If you're ready to make silence your go-to response in moments of provocation, here's how to do it effectively. Step 1. Pause before reacting. When someone says something that triggers you, take a moment to breathe. This pause gives you the space to decide whether engaging will benefit you or just fuel the fire. By taking a step back, you regain control of the situation instead of being swept away by emotion. Step 2. Choose calm over chaos. Responding with silence doesn't mean you're weak or avoiding the situation. It means you're strong enough to value your peace over the need to retaliate. Silence allows you to rise above negativity, avoiding unnecessary drama and protecting your emotional well-being. Step 3. Speak only when necessary. If you must respond, do so calmly and only when it truly adds something constructive to the conversation. Keep your words to the point, focusing on what's necessary rather than engaging in a back and forth that only fuels further tension. By using silence strategically, you break the cycle of negativity and maintain your emotional peace. This simple tool can be incredibly powerful when used in moments of provocation, keeping you grounded no matter what's happening around you. 3. The power of gratitude, dissolving anger and building resilience. Now that we've talked about how silence can protect your peace, let's shift to another powerful tool: gratitude. Imagine this. You're having one of those days when everything seems to go wrong. Your plans fall apart, someone makes a rude comment, and the smallest inconveniences feel unbearable. You feel anger bubbling up, and the world seems to be working against you. But what if, instead of focusing on what's going wrong, you shifted your attention to what's going right? Gratitude has a remarkable ability to transform anger into calm. It reframes even the worst moments into opportunities for peace and perspective. Here's a powerful truth: you can't feel grateful and angry at the same time. Gratitude works like a mental reset button. It pulls you out of the spiral of negativity and reminds you of the good that still exists, even in frustrating situations. 4. Practicing gratitude in everyday life. Let's consider an example. You're stuck in traffic, running late to an important appointment. Instead of fuming at the cars ahead, try this. Take a deep breath and think of 3 things you're thankful for. Maybe it's the fact that you have a car, the opportunity you're headed toward, or even just the music playing on the radio. It might sound small, but this simple shift can transform your emotional state almost instantly. The philosopher Cicero said gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. Gratitude doesn't just dissolve anger, it builds resilience, fosters patience, and helps you focus on what truly matters. It's a tool you can use anytime, anywhere, to protect your peace. 5. How to make gratitude a daily habit. Here's how to incorporate gratitude into your daily routine. Step 1. Pause and reflect. When anger starts to rise, take a moment to breathe and ask yourself, what's one thing I can be thankful for right now? This pause allows you to reset your mindset and shift your focus from frustration to appreciation. Even in challenging situations, you can find something to be grateful for. Step 2. Keep a gratitude journal. At the end of each day, write down 3 things that went well, no matter how small they seem. This practice trains your mind to look for the positive and helps you focus on what's going right rather than getting lost in what's going wrong. Step 3. Reframe your challenges. When faced with a challenge, think about what you can learn from the situation or how it could be worse. For example, if someone criticizes you harshly, instead of letting anger take over, try reframing it. I'm grateful for the chance to learn from this feedback, even if it wasn't delivered kindly. This doesn't excuse the other person's behavior, but it helps you stay in control of your emotions. 6. Gratitude as a shield against negativity. The more you practice gratitude, the less power negativity will have over you. Gratitude isn't just about feeling good, it's about building emotional resilience. When you shift your focus to the positive, you develop the ability to navigate life's challenges with grace and calm. It's a practice that empowers you to protect your peace, no matter what's going on around you. The next time you feel yourself slipping into frustration, pause. Take a deep breath and think about what you're grateful for. By choosing gratitude over anger, you not only dissolve negativity, but you also build a stronger, more resilient mindset. Gratitude allows you to stay grounded in the face of adversity and maintain your emotional balance. Conclusion: gratitude, silence, and emotional mastery. Incorporating silence and gratitude into your life gives you the tools to protect your peace and maintain emotional control. These practices allow you to rise above negativity, avoid unnecessary conflict, and stay grounded in your own truth. By choosing silence in moments of provocation and gratitude in moments of frustration, you reclaim your power, protect your emotional well-being, and create a life that's authentic to you. The more you practice these habits, the more you'll find that peace, not anger or frustration, becomes your default response. And that's the true power of emotional mastery. The transformative power of gratitude and reframing criticism. In the previous section, we explored the power of silence and gratitude in maintaining emotional balance. Now let's dive into how reframing criticism and approaching it with the right mindset can turn potential setbacks into opportunities for growth. Life isn't always smooth sailing, but with the right tools, we can use every experience as a chance to learn and evolve. 1. Gratitude. Shifting your focus from lack to presence. Gratitude has the power to shift your focus from what's lacking to what's present. It's not about denying frustration or anger, but about choosing to prioritize what uplifts you over what drags you down. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to fall into frustration, but what if, instead of focusing on what's going wrong, you focused on what's going right? Here's a thought. Didn't learn a lot today. At least we learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die. This simple perspective reminds us to find gratitude in even the smallest things, especially during tough times. Gratitude doesn't just dissolve anger, it replaces it with calm clarity and a sense of control. By practicing gratitude, you train yourself to notice what is going right, even when the situation seems overwhelming. It's a way of shifting your emotional state and cultivating a deeper sense of peace. The next time anger creeps in, pause and ask yourself, what can I be thankful for in this moment? This simple shift in focus will help you transform frustration into an opportunity for gratitude, leading to a more peaceful and centered state of mind. 2. Reframing criticism. Turning it into a tool for growth. Imagine this: you've just shared an idea you're proud of, maybe at work with friends or even online. But instead of receiving the support you expected, someone immediately shoots it down with harsh criticism. Your first instinct might be to get defensive or perhaps even angry. It's natural to feel this way when your efforts are met with negativity, but what if you could reframe that criticism and see it as an opportunity to grow? Criticism, no matter how it's delivered, holds value if you're willing to look for it. It can show you blind spots, challenge your thinking, or push you to improve. When you shift your perspective, criticism stops being a source of frustration and becomes a tool for self-betterment. For example, imagine you're preparing a presentation and a colleague points out several flaws in your work. Instead of dismissing their comments by thinking they're just trying to undermine me, you could pause and reflect: is there truth in what they're saying? How can I use this feedback to improve? By choosing the second approach, you turn what might feel like an attack into a stepping stone toward improvement. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, criticism, like rain, should be gentle enough to nourish growth without destroying roots. This doesn't mean that all criticism is valid or worth your attention. Some people criticize out of envy, ignorance, or malice. The key is to filter what you hear, keeping what's constructive and discarding what's not. 3. How to handle criticism with grace. Here are some steps to handle criticism with grace. Step 1. Pause before reacting. When faced with criticism, take a moment to breathe. This pause allows you to avoid reacting emotionally and gives you space to reflect on the feedback instead of responding impulsively. Step 2. Evaluate the source. Consider who is giving the feedback. Do they have your best interests in mind? Are they informed about the situation? By evaluating the source, you can decide how much weight to give to their criticism. Step 3. Find the lesson. Even poorly delivered criticism can contain valuable insights. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? By focusing on the lesson rather than the delivery, you turn criticism into a tool for growth. For example, let's say a family member makes a critical remark about your choices, like your career or lifestyle. Instead of arguing or shutting down, you could say, I hear your concerns and I'll think about what you've said. This response shows maturity and gives you the opportunity to reflect later without escalating the conflict. 4. The Stoic wisdom of not taking criticism personally. Epictetus offers a timeless reminder about not taking criticism too personally. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, He does not know my other faults, else he would not have mentioned only these. This Stoic wisdom teaches us not to internalize criticism, but to see it as part of the journey toward self-improvement. Criticism isn't an attack on our character. It's an opportunity to reflect on areas where we can grow. The next time someone critiques, you ask yourself, what can I learn from this feedback? Is this criticism about me, or does it reflect more about the person giving it? How can I grow from this moment? Lao Tzu reminds us that knowing others is intelligence, knowing yourself is true wisdom. Criticism, when approached with the right mindset, is a mirror that helps you understand yourself better. It's not always comfortable, but growth rarely is. By welcoming feedback, even when it stings, you develop resilience, humility, and a stronger sense of self. 5. Embracing feedback and growing through criticism. By reframing criticism and accepting it as a tool for growth, you open yourself up to becoming the best version of yourself. Every piece of feedback, no matter how it's delivered, holds the potential to challenge you, teach you, and help you grow. The next time you face criticism, remember that it's not a reflection of your worth. Instead, it's an opportunity to learn, evolve, and improve. Incorporating this mindset into your life will make you more resilient to negativity and help you approach feedback with a sense of curiosity rather than defensiveness. Criticism becomes less about being right or wrong and more about embracing the chance to learn and grow. By welcoming feedback, you invite personal growth, deeper self-awareness, and greater emotional strength into your life. By approaching criticism with grace, gratitude, and a willingness to learn, you unlock the potential to grow in every situation. These practices not only improve how you handle feedback, but also help you build a stronger sense of self-worth and emotional resilience. Through silence, gratitude, and reframing criticism, you create a foundation for personal growth and emotional mastery that will guide you through life's challenges with calm and confidence. The power of letting go, embracing freedom. As we've explored, silence, gratitude, and reframing criticism are all powerful tools for protecting your peace. Now let's dive into a concept that can truly transform your emotional well-being: letting go. When we hold on to anger, resentment, or grudges, we unknowingly harm ourselves far more than anyone else. Mastering the art of letting go is essential for emotional freedom and inner peace. 1. Mastering the art of letting go. Imagine holding on to a hot coal, determined to throw it at someone who hurt you. But while you're waiting for the right moment, the coal keeps burning your hand. Anger, grudges, and resentment work the same way. They cause far more damage to you than the person who caused your pain. The real strength lies not in holding on, but in letting go. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or condoning what happened. It means releasing the emotional weight that drags you down and freeing yourself from the control of the past. When you let go, you reclaim your energy, your peace, and your ability to focus on the present. The Buddha beautifully put it, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Think about a time when someone wronged you. Maybe it was a betrayal, an unfair judgment, or an unkind word. How much time did you spend replaying that moment in your mind? How much energy did you waste imagining confrontations or seeking revenge? Letting go is the antidote to this endless cycle of negative thinking. It allows you to move forward instead of staying trapped in the past. 2. Letting go at work. A practical example. Here's a real-life example. Imagine you're at work and a colleague takes credit for your idea. You could spend days stewing over the injustice, letting it affect your mood and productivity. Or you could choose to let it go, recognizing that your worth isn't tied to one moment of recognition. By choosing the latter, you protect your peace and focus on what truly matters, your growth and future opportunities. When you let go of these small but significant moments of injustice, you free yourself from their emotional grip. You create the space to thrive, to grow, and to achieve your long-term goals without carrying the weight of past wrongs. 3. The wisdom of letting go. Lao Tzu offers profound wisdom. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Letting go isn't just about releasing anger or resentment. It's also about letting go of perfectionism, fear of failure, and the need for control. It's about embracing life as it is, with all its unpredictability, and finding freedom in acceptance. Letting go means you're choosing to stop holding on to things you can't change. You're allowing yourself to experience life as it unfolds instead of resisting what is. This kind of acceptance doesn't mean being passive. It means being strong enough to let go and move forward with clarity and peace. 4. How to practice letting go. Here's how you can start practicing the art of letting go in your daily life. Step 1. Acknowledge your feelings. Suppressing emotions only makes them stronger. Allow yourself to feel hurt, anger, or disappointment without judgment. Recognizing your emotions is the first step to releasing them. You don't need to deny your feelings. You just need to stop letting them control you. Step 2. Reframe the situation. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I grow stronger because of it? Reframing helps you focus on the lesson instead of the pain. Every experience, even the painful ones, offers an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. Step 3. Focus on the present. Letting go is a choice you make for yourself, not for the other person. Shift your attention to the here and now, where your power lies. When you let go, you release the emotional weight of the past and you create space for the present moment. The more you focus on the present, the lighter and freer you feel. Think of letting go like releasing a balloon. The longer you hold on to it, the more it strains your hand. But when you let it float away, you feel lighter and freer. Life becomes less about what happened and more about what's possible. 5. The freedom of letting go. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, do not be disturbed by what is outside your power. Let it go, and you will find peace. Letting go doesn't mean ignoring injustice or letting people walk over you. It means choosing where to direct your energy. By letting go of what you can't change, you create space for what you can, a brighter, calmer, and more fulfilling life. The next time you find yourself clinging to anger, regret, or resentment, pause and ask yourself, is this worth my peace? What would my life look like if I let this go? The answer will guide you toward emotional freedom. Because true strength isn't in holding on, it's in knowing when to release. 6. The lighter. You feel the stronger. You become. When you choose to let go, you discover that the lighter you feel, the stronger you become. Letting go of anger, grudges, and the need to control allows you to move through life with greater ease. It frees you from the weight of the past, opening up space for joy, peace, and growth. As we wrap up these lessons on mastering your emotions, remember that letting go is one of the most empowering choices you can make. It's a practice that will help you protect your peace-built resilience and create a life filled with emotional freedom. So the next time you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, remember you have the power to let go, lighten your load, and become the best version of yourself. Emotional mastery, choosing peace over reacting. In the previous section, we discussed the power of letting go and how releasing the emotional weight of anger and resentment can bring a sense of freedom. Now let's focus on the final step in mastering your emotions, taking control of your reactions. Emotional mastery isn't about suppressing your feelings or becoming indifferent. It's about choosing how you respond to life's challenges with clarity, strength, and wisdom. 1. Taking control of your reactions. Remember, the goal isn't to suppress your emotions or act like they don't exist. Your human feelings of anger, frustration, and disappointment will naturally arise. However, emotional mastery is about learning how to respond to these feelings in a way that doesn't control you. It's about recognizing that what happens to you isn't nearly as important as how you choose to react. Life will throw challenges your way, but the power to stay calm, centered, and free lies entirely in your hands. The more you practice emotional control, the easier it becomes to navigate difficult situations without being swept away by your emotions. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can pause, reflect, and then choose the most grounded response. 2. Practice the power of pause. As you move forward on your emotional mastery journey, remember to take these lessons with you. Practice pausing before you react. This simple pause can make all the difference. It's in this space that you can decide how to respond, whether with patience, clarity, or compassion, rather than reacting out of frustration or anger. Taking that extra moment gives you the power to approach life's challenges with intention, rather than being driven by your immediate emotional impulses. Every time you choose peace over anger, you take one step closer to living the unshakable life you deserve. 3. Set boundaries and protect your energy. Another key lesson is setting boundaries that protect your energy. Protecting your peace doesn't mean shutting people out or avoiding conflict. It means being intentional about where you invest your time and emotional energy. By setting clear boundaries, you ensure that your emotional resources are being used for things that truly matter. You stop giving your energy to things that drain you and start focusing on what nourishes your growth. As you practice these boundaries, you'll notice how much more centered and empowered you feel. You'll stop letting external forces dictate your emotional state, and instead you'll cultivate a deeper sense of peace that comes from within. 4. Let go of what you can't control. Finally, remember to let go of the things and people you can't control. Trying to control everything around you is a surefire way to drain your energy and peace. By recognizing what's outside your control, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and frustration. You shift your focus to what you can control: your thoughts, your reactions, and the actions that align with your values. Every time you choose peace over trying to control the uncontrollable, you reclaim your power and emotional freedom. 5. Share the peace. Spread the calm. If you found value in this episode, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might need a little extra calm in their life. Emotional freedom is something we can all benefit from, and sometimes just a small shift in mindset can make all the difference. If you have your own tips or experiences about staying unbothered, I'd love to hear them. drop a comment below and let's continue the conversation. 6. Keep growing emotional. Freedom is a practice. Thank you for joining me on this journey toward emotional mastery. Remember, emotional freedom isn't a destination. It's a practice. It's something you build and refine every day. The more you show up for yourself, the stronger and more resilient you become. Stay mindful. Keep growing stronger, and remember, emotional freedom is yours to create. Until next time, take care and stay unbothered. By consistently practicing these principles, you'll be well on your way to mastering your emotions and living a life that is unshakable, grounded, and full of peace. Every moment is an opportunity to grow, to respond with strength, and to cultivate a mindset that serves your highest self. So keep practicing, stay mindful, and enjoy the journey toward becoming the best version of yourself.